piled one right after the other in this deepening story surrounding Tony Podesta, John Podesta, the Podesta Group, Hillary Clinton's campaign, and the 2016 election, which also involves Saudi Arabia. For those of you who are just now understanding what's going on here, we've been following the corruption going on with the Clintons ever since she decided to run for president, and WikiLeaks started dropping bombs that told the world how the collusion and manipulation of the Democrats was trying to not only undermine the entire election, but also cut the throat of Bernie Sanders, the main opponent of Hillary in the 2016 election. This total undermining of American society is so deep, it's now global and has been pushed by Obama for the past 8 years. You're going to want to watch the hashtag, the storm, on social media, which has to do with AnonQ. Okay? We've been talking a little bit about Q clearance yesterday and the day before. If you've read any of the Podesta emails, you know it's laced with pedophile references, and it goes back to the child sex trafficking, the Lolita Express, the missing children in Haiti, and the funds which the Clinton Foundation was supposed to give to the people affected by the massive hurricane in Haiti, which left many of them homeless. Following this story, it's really not hard to put the pieces together. In that article, I was able to link the Saudi Arabians to the Clintons and the child sex trafficking. The link to that story is below with detailed information about this. And if you've read that story, everything that I'm going to say right now is going to make sense. So we've got Tony Podesta arrested, making a deal with the feds yesterday. He's hooked up in the pedophile ring and displays artwork in his home depicting the torture of children. You can just, if you do a search, you'll find it. Then we've got emails from John Podesta in the WikiLeaks Podesta emails, which link both Tony and John to the spirit cooking woman, Marina Abramovich. You're going to have to look that up. It talks about going to dinner, and there are photos of Lady Gaga and other well-known politicians participating in that disgusting event. And this is all linked together. In addition, we've linked Tony Podesta to a website owned by Charlie Sheen called winning.com. where Tony was moderator using the email aggravation@winning.com. That came from the background check, which I paid for on Tony Podesta, and apparently is known by various journalists who aren't reporting this. It's not like this information is hard to link. So then today we have a report about Charlie Sheen raping Corey Haim on the set of the movie Lucas when he was 13 years old. Now, of course, Sheen denies this, but mainstream media overseas is reporting it. Does anybody see a pattern here? Now we've got these Saudi Arabian princes who've been arrested by the Saudi king, and also have some of them who have charges against them in other countries with child rape. Also, we've got these same Saudis donating to the Podesta Group and the Clinton Foundation, which is where the money laundering charge is coming into play. This charge is what's going to be leading straight to the largest takedown of government entities, political figures, celebrities, and you're going to find the majority of these people are Democrats and liberals, with some Republicans. What's going on here is the Saudis gave money to the Podesta Group and the Clinton Foundation, which was funneled to the Clinton campaign. Totally illegal. In exchange, the Saudis were running children and sex slaves from various countries with the blessing of Hillary during her stint as Secretary of State. If you don't believe that, read Clinton Cash. These princes were supposedly really being charged with human trafficking, which includes these children, this sex trafficking thing, according to 4chan sources. The money laundering charge is just the tip of the iceberg here, and Tony Podesta is going to be squealing like a stuck pig. He knows all of this stuff. The Saudi princes are linked to the Podesta Group. These Saudi princes are linked to Mandalay Bay shooting and the media and FBI, and they're all trying to cover this up. The Saudi princes are involved with Twitter. They're involved with Fox News. These Saudi princes have their hands in everything. I'm not really a big fan of Alex Jones, but one of his guests reminded us that the February raid in Yemen that killed a couple of Navy SEALs and uncovered a bunch of intel is linked to John McCain and his involvement in all these events, and all of the Saudi Arabian princes that were just arrested this weekend. Back on February 2nd, John McCain came out with a statement against President Trump saying he didn't know what he was doing and was basically trying to diminish the intel which the Trump administration uncovered in that raid. Through the back channels, we're seeing all the players here are political figures in the deep state, backed by liberal celebrities who are pushing a globalist agenda, trying to destroy America and move towards this new world order. Every now and then, a political statement will be made that mentions the New World Order. So if you think it's not real, you better think again. They're using celebrities to lull the masses to sleep because people seem to flock to actors and musicians when they make political statements. So the Saudi prince, Al Walid, was arrested this weekend and is being held apparently in the Ritz-Carlton in Saudi Arabia, and the entire country is in a civil war. This is according to the sources both inside and outside Saudi Arabia. These guys are using John McCain as their little pawn, and he's willingly spreading false information. And it also appears this brain tumor that was a sudden event is laying the groundwork in case Democrats and the deep state liberal politicians have to use it so they can say he's mentally unstable. And because they're already spreading that, trying to spread that rumor about John McCain in case they got to use it. You've got to understand, these people are in a circle of corruption, and it's all about power and money. You can link one after the other through associations and business dealings. This is a huge global corruption ring, which includes the Clintons and corrupt United States politicians. Their entire world was shaken up when President Trump was elected, and he's been giving out signals to them that he isn't playing their game anymore. He's been sending messages through his speeches and through social media postings to China and Russia that he knows what's going on here, and he's not going to tolerate it on any of their attacks and any undermining of the United States. The mainstream media is in on all this information. Don't let them fool you, and is purposefully squashing the stories and evidence of what's going on here. They're reporting half-truths and lies. It is so simple to connect the dots. It's amazing. The events like Mandalay Bay and the Texas church shootings are going to get worse as American patriots and President Trump resist their attempts and expose the evil that's been infiltrating our government for years. And I do mean years. The past weekend was explosive if you don't understand the Podestas are in the middle of this. And they have the goods on Hillary. And you need to go back and study all of the events up to now. Study the WikiLeaks emails. Follow the back channels and then do your own digging. Connect the dots and look at the relationships. It's all a twisted trail of corruption, war, attacks, undermining, our society, human trafficking, drug running, gun running, and this is what our government officials have been doing for the past 50 years, in my opinion.
Another hour of justice still ahead, but first, did former FBI Director James Comey obstruct justice by protecting Hillary Clinton from prosecution? Here to weigh in is Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett. Good evening, Greg. There was a story in The Hill this week that says a newly discovered document shows that FBI Director Jim Comey authored a draft statement accusing Clinton of mishandling classified documents and being grossly negligent. And this was confirmed by Senator Chuck Grassley, of course, who is a very well-respected chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. And it says that the words gross negligence were edited and crossed out with extreme carelessness. Talk to us. What does this mean?
Well, John Solomon of The Hill uncovered the document, and it is a crime to mishandle classified documents through gross negligence. Comey wrote out a letter of exoneration of Hillary Clinton in which he crossed out the words gross negligence and substituted extreme carelessness. Now, those terms are synonymous under the law. Comey appears to not have understood that. This seems to be evidence that he was trying to absolve Hillary Clinton and conjured up an excuse to protect her. So if he did that, he needs to be put under oath and explain why he did that. Why did he change the language? Did he do it for political reasons? Was he pressured by Loretta Lynch or others to absolve and clear Hillary Clinton? And if the answer is yes, that would be obstruction of justice.
And you know what's interesting, Greg? When you put that alongside the fact that this exoneration draft memo was written 6-7 weeks before 17 witnesses, including the target herself, Hillary, was even interviewed, that is further corroborating circumstantial evidence that the intent of James Comey was to protect Hillary Clinton. Now, let me tell you something. I have heard some people, even on this channel, say, oh, you know, they do it all the time. If I were going to exonerate. It has never been done. I've done this for 32 years. I've been a prosecutor and I've been a judge. I have never, ever, nor has anyone I know, written an exoneration before most of the witnesses are interviewed. This is corruption. I'm sorry. I could prove this to a jury.
It does appear to be corruption. I've been a lawyer 37 years. I've never seen it, never heard of it. And not only did Comey appear to misinterpret the law on gross negligence, there's another statute Hillary Clinton seems to have violated, and that is willfully and knowingly mishandling classified documents. In his infamous news conference, James Comey said she didn't intend to break the law. That's not the legal standard. The legal test is, did she commit intentional acts that violated the law? The answer is yes. She intentionally set up a private email server. She intentionally used it exclusively for all of her documents, including 110 classified documents. That is, per se, violation of the Espionage Act.
You know, Greg, what is so disappointing about all this, and you know, we understand this, and the public understands this, the public gets it, is that people are so disappointed that Washington is what we always suspected it was. And this is something that the president has agreed to end. And yet we're not seeing any resolution of this except for exceptional people like John Solomon of the Hill and others. What do we do?
Well, Jeff Sessions needs to resign, as I've said on many occasions, but before he does, he needs to appoint a second special counsel to investigate Hillary Clinton, reopen the case involving her email scandal under the Espionage Act, and add to that an investigation of corruption, pay to play in the Uranium One deal, as well as the payment to foreign nationals for the dossier on Donald Trump. That violates 3 different criminal statutes. And finally, let's add in the rigging of the nomination, because I count a couple of statutes, criminal statutes, that she violated there, including money laundering.
We gotta go. Got a hard break. Greg Jarrett, thanks so much for being with us. And we're